I am Parikshit Suri, born and brought up in Bombay, lived all my life there, and now finally moved destination to Gurgaon, Haryana. Well, I've been in the business of photography almost since 1986. And I got into it thanks to my father, who was a photographer also. To be honest, that's where the passion actually came from. That's where I got inspired. Since almost the last 2 decades, since digital technology has changed all our lives, it has become far more easier. You do not need to wait for 2 days, 3 days to actually have your roles processed and understand where you went right or where you went wrong. Today, at the click, you're able to determine where your shot is going right or wrong, and you can make corrections automatically there and then itself. I loved the part of weddings because there is so much emotion attached to every wedding that you do. And that's what was a fueling factor to my passion. There was a happy space always. There was never a dull moment. It was emotional, it was fun, and the people that I was with always had an energy around it that always was positive. And that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to be in a negative space at all. I almost started shooting weddings right from 1994, 96 onwards. And it's been almost 2.5 decades now. So if I had a chance to probably relive my life again all over, I don't think I would make any changes. I think I'd do exactly the way I've gone through my entire life, because it's been such a progressive, positive energy feeder for my work and for myself. I've grown as a person and improved in my skills thanks to weddings. Well, initially the challenge was, of course, being labeled as a wedding photographer, which was in those days quite absurd, but to me it sounded quite absurd when people used to label you as a wedding photographer. It wasn't considered probably glamorous at that point of time. Things changed, and I started using a little fashion sense into my way of photography. My images started speaking more of candid way back then itself. There was no planned at that point of time, but a lot of candid, a lot of traditional photography as well. And the candids and the adaptation of fashion into wedding portraits actually was my turning point. When people started realizing that, and I started getting more work thanks to that. Also, the most important thing is I think I probably brought into the wedding industry a certain flair, a certain sense of responsibility, a certain sense of planning into the wedding photography part of it, delivering the final products at kind of a record speed to ensure that the families of the families of the couple didn't have to wait for a very long period to actually enjoy watching the films and the images that were shot at the wedding. And that's what really boosted my career in terms of wedding photography. So, well, after having used different brands of cameras, starting from somewhere around 1992, 93 onwards, right up to 2017, where I actually got my hands on the Lumix camera for the first time, creating some lifelike images with a story to tell for my clients. Well, I think the best part that I've had while using the Panasonic cameras was the flexibility of using the system. To adapt to it was very, very easy. It took me literally a day and a half to actually adapt to the Panasonic game. It was a game changer for me totally. The moment I moved on to Panasonic at this wedding that I'm talking about in 2018 it was, I was floored. I said, this is it. Move to the next level and get your hands on the Panasonic. And that's where I tied down with Panasonic and I said, I'm ready. Tell me, what do I do? How do we move on further? So, well, the most important feature that I like about the camera is the colors. The real life colors that I get with the Panasonic. That is something that I've never been able to get with any other brand. Another very, very important feature that I that I really grew fond of was the focus area. And that took a little progression. At the start, I did feel there's a little lag on the focus area, but today, I think they've perfected it. I can really enjoy freeing my mind off that one part of the process